What a difference a year makes. Remember when old mate Albanese, every time he was flying off overseas, which was quite a lot, would never answer a question about anything domestic. He would literally try to palm it away and pretend that good news, bad news, whatever, he could not answer. There was some magical reason why he couldn't answer a question about anything to do with Australian politics when he was overseas.
I make it a policy. I said this on my first visit. I intend to stick to it, that I won't be commenting on domestic issues while overseas. I'm not commenting on domestic issues while I'm overseas.
Well, Airbus Albo is overseas again. This time he's in Papua New Guinea, where he will be walking the Kokoda track with the Prime Minister of Papua New Guinea, no doubt discussing money that's coming their way when it comes to a rugby league team and a whole bunch of other soft diplomacy keeping out China. But it's yet another overseas trip. So does the rule apply anymore? Well, no. He gave interviews across the television spectrum this morning, live from Port Moresby, where he was more than willing to talk about domestic issues because, of course, his vote is down by 12%, according to the latest polls.
It just shows his arrogance. This is an egotist, totally out of touch. He clearly sees this as a vanity project for himself.
If only I had a name for this bloke who has it both ways, who says he has a policy of doing one thing and then ends up doing exactly the opposite. Oh, that's right. What was it? What was it again? Oh, there. Here we go. And what a difference 3 years makes. Petrol record highs all around the country, no matter where you were. I was twisting the dial and having a listen to a whole bunch of talkback stations today. People blowing up. Deluxe. Prices were a lot higher than this in big parts of most of the cities, but still way over $2, almost $2.30 as the average in Sydney, Melbourne and Brisbane. Now, what was it that Anthony Albanese was saying back when it was $1.85?
They haven't done anything about petrol. We'll await to see what they do with regard to petrol.
He wanted a cut in petrol excise. But now that he's the Prime Minister and he increased petrol taxes, what's he saying about petrol prices that are now way past $2, that we're closer to $2.50 than we are $2, let alone $1.85? Oh, that's right. Nothing. Now, of course, the media would be just as invested, wouldn't they, in making sure that the little people get a little bit back when it comes to petrol? Because remember, what did they used to write about cost of living when it was the previous government? Well, of course, the former Channel 10 and far left-wing guy, Paul Bongiorno, everything's going up except Morrison's chances. Cost of living really matters, really matters. It's all worse now. But does he write about it anymore? Of course not. Samantha Maiden in news.com.au was part of the narrative that Aussies are paying $30 a tank in petrol taxes, but the Prem yet to drop excise. I didn't notice anything she filed today on petrol taxes that are higher and way higher than $30 that people are paying a tank now when it comes to petrol excise. And as for the rest of the media that cared about petrol prices so much so that it became such a long, loud issue that if the government didn't do something, they had to lose the... But now it doesn't matter. Prices are way higher. The financial pressure way tighter. But in the same way, the Prime Minister's policy is to not discuss matters overseas. When the political fortunes change, guess what? So do the hard and fast rules. One of the reasons I always talk about cost of living, and always at the start of the show, is if that was the reason why things desperately had to change a couple of years ago, well, isn't that the standard by which we judge this mob? Oh, no, that's right. That would only be us trying to maintain the standard. Otherwise, it just was the crowbar that they could get rid of the bloke they didn't like. And as for the person that they do like, well, nothing to see here, despite the fact it's all worse and you pay more.